and I've put him through school, and I'm still putting him through school, and I'm still providing for him.
What was the thing
you're-
that forced this necessity exactly?
Because I don't have parents. They died
Yeah,
when
but
I was young.
there's a lot of people who don't have parents, including a lot of women, don't end up becoming boss babes. What made you have to actually be a boss babe?
Because I had to take care of my son.
I'm going to say this real quick. Andrew Wilson is a godsend. I'm telling you straight up. This man, the way he surgically maneuvers his questions, and he's an excellent debater. And I think we should have more clips of Andrew.
Yeah, why would that require being a boss? Well, what is a boss babe, first of all? What is that?
A woman that's successful in her career.
Strong, independent black woman that don't need no.
That's it? Well, I mean, but that would include basically just any woman who has a job and is held in, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, how's that being a boss babe?
But for someone to be able to survive on her own income and raise a kid in Los Angeles, that's pretty boss in my opinion.
Boss.
What?
You see, that's pretty boss in her opinion. That doesn't mean it's a fact. You're being a usual adult. That's adulting. That's not being a boss babe. That's being an adult. You don't have a significant other to help you with these responsibilities. These are your own. You chose to have children because men can't have children unless you allow them into your womb. So why is it that you're a boss babe now? Because you're adulting. See, we getting the words in these definitions and meanings of things mixed up. You're being a regular adult. Continue.
Makes that boss.
Because I made it work and I didn't take money from anyone else.
Cap.
Yeah, I'm not sure
TTS
though.
is 100.
So, let's back up a little bit. Mm-hmm. So you're raising the kid by yourself. This is because you're.
I mean, financially, so his dad did help a little bit in high school, but financially, the burden has been on me.
Okay, gotcha. And then, but you've had joint custody, all of this?
Yeah. And
Okay,
he is
so
a good father. He's a good father. He's just not financially, he wasn't a good provider. So my past is dictating what I want in the future. That's why I want a man that's a provider and a protector, because I haven't had that.
Yeah, no.
But you're trying to come at me like
I understand.
I think the reason she hasn't had a provider and a protector is because she is the provider and protector.
Chick that wants a handout. And that's not it at all.
Wait, you have had a provider.
Well, okay.
No, I didn't.
actually,
no one
but
provided
this
for
kinda-
me.
You went on a dinner date that cost like $3,000.
He's not paying my bills.
Wait.
I mean he
You wait. Do you want?
taking me out to dinner something is in it for him because he's enjoying the dinner also. He's not
Wait,
paying
what's
my
in it-
bills.
what's
He's
in it
not my
for him?
provider.
Wait, what's in it for him?
Oh, he loved it. He loved companionship. He says to this day it's his
but
best,
he
the best
gets
meal.
that, and you get that.
Yeah,
So,
so-
but him paying for the dinner is one directional.
That's his choice. He's also
Wait, is that?
Hold up. You see how she just shrugged it off? Did you see how she just shrugged it off? This is the mentality of Western women nowadays. Kings, be careful. Look at this.
Is that your
right.
expectation? You want to meet a guy who's willing to be a provider?
yeah.
You want to meet a guy to pay for your bills?
Yeah. I mean, share in the responsibility with me, so it's not
No, but
all
you said
on
pay
my
for your
shoulders.
bills.
Share in the responsibility with me.
So
sharing in the responsibility means that she should share in the $3,000 that he spent for dinner.
Brian,
90%, 10%.
I don't know what the percentage is, but we would mutually figure it out based
Well,
on
at
our
least
goals.
it's going to be at least be 50%.
Based on our goals. And
Yeah,
what-
so it's at least going to be 50%. At least.
why would you say that? What's at least would you?
Well, I mean, you say, I don't know what the percentage is of how much it is that I expect this guy to contribute, who I want to take care of me, but it's at least going to be half, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, so I mean, if it's at least going to be 50%, then he's taking 50% of the financial burden off of you. So that's why the question keeps on coming up. Well, what is it that you're bringing that's so great that should eliminate 50% of the financial burden that had nothing to do with this person who takes it off of you that you created for you?
Well, because men of my generation feel like a man by providing for their woman.
So you
And-
think
That's not
you
true.
think that the thing that you bring to the table is that you're going to let them feel like a man
Sure.
by providing for you,
But also everything else that I bring to the table,
which is
which is exactly everything I discussed earlier.
yeah,
being-
but you think that those compensate for the
That's code for nothing.
50% that he brings to alleviate this financial burden that you want to get out from under? Because that seems to be like your main thing, right?
I don't have a financial burden. It's not like I have thousands of dollars of debt. I have over an
But you said
800
it's your
credit
primary-
score.
Wait, hang on. You said it's your primary motivation that you want a man to provide for you so that you don't have, quote, all of the burden on my shoulders.
Yes, I want to feel like a woman. I want to be back into, I want to feel like a woman.
Okay, so then if he's eliminating this burden off of your shoulders, it's the financial burden.
It's also the emotional support. It's the partnership. It's having your sexy best
Yeah,
friend.
Now, I love it when Andrew asks these questions, man, because he puts them in a spot where they can't lie. You get what I'm saying? Like the way he articulates these questions, it just exposes and pinpoints all of their faulty so-called logic. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's really based off of what their preference is and what they want, instead of what is actual reality and what is actually feasible to being in a relationship.
You said, in a quote, I want him to provide for me to take the burden off of my shoulders. So if he's
Yes.
providing
I want to feel provided for.
and he's
Yes.
handing you money, what is the burden he's taking off your shoulders? The financial burden. How could it be anything other than that? If that's the primary goal, the primary reasoning here is I want him to eliminate this burden. The burden is the financial burden, right?
No, it's actually the burden of not having a partner my whole life at 52 years old.
Okay, so
Okay. I definitely didn't think she was 52. She looks good to be 52. But she's making demands that as if she was 26.
so are you gonna
And not
marry
having-
are you gonna marry a poor man you have to take care of?
Sorry, there was a motorcycle.
One more time, Andrew.
Are you gonna marry a poor man that you have to take care of?
No, I already
No.
did that.
Yeah, no.
I already
right?
did that.
So you want to marry a man who you said, quote, takes me to Europe and retires with me.
Well, or I'll move to Europe and I'll meet a man out there.
Yeah, sure, but you still want him to take the financial burden off your shoulders, right? I mean, clearly you don't want a poor man.
I do not want a poor man.
Yeah, so why don't you want a poor man? Because you want him to, quote, provide for you, correct?
Because I've been taking care of everything my whole life. The financial burden of,
Yes, the
raising us.
That's your problem.
Financial burden, yes, the financial
Yeah.
burden.
Yeah.
You want him to take off the
Yep.
financial burden, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes. So if you want him to take off the financial burden, how much do you want? At least half, right?
Let's leave it.
Yes.
Okay, so if it's at least half of the financial burden that you want him to eliminate from your shoulders, they're just asking, all these people are just asking this question of, what do you think compensates him for eliminating 50% of the financial burden that you have that he's not responsible for?
It's not that. It's living with somebody that It's not that I'm trying to give him half of my financial burden, but we're going
Yes,
to
you
be
are trying to give him
together.
half of your literally, you are trying to give him half of your financial burden. What are you talking about? How are you not? That's what you're saying you want to do, is give him half at least of your financial burden. How are you not doing that?
Okay, so what I think your listeners or your viewers are
See, now this is what she's getting into. Now she wants to blame the viewers. She wants to blame the listeners now. But she basically said that she want a man to actually take 50% of her burden. Now she's trying to backstep. Now she's trying to dance. And this is the part where is the disconnect. That's where you go into delusion now. Now you're delusional. Now you're trying to gaslight us, the viewers and the listeners. This is what gaslighting is. Someone try to change your perception of reality with their lies.
not understanding is I'm looking for a partner, and I'm looking for somebody that has the same goals and the same lifestyle and that wants the same thing too. They want their best friend. They want their best friend to live
This is a
chapter
great
of their
pivot,
life.
but I'm just not going to let you quite get away with the pivot. How are you not trying to give this man 50% of your financial burden he's not actually responsible for currently, but in the future he will be based on your choices? You are,
But
right?
that
I mean, you
isn't
are.
that what marriage is? Isn't that what?
I agree. I agree
Yeah.
that it's okay for you to share your burdens with your partner.
Yeah.
Fine. Fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to ask what your compensation for giving this guy 50% of the financial burden he's not responsible for currently is. What is the offset to that? That you think is worth it for a man to take on at least 50% of whatever your current financial burden is.
There is none.
Well, because I'm going to be with a man that wants to be with me, and that's we have that same goal in mind.
Are you serious?
Because we're looking for that in life. I know what you're trying to get at, but and you're trying to make it something tangible and quantify it, maybe in a dollar sign.
It is tangible,
but it
it's
is no,
quantifiable.
like love is not. It's something
Yeah,
that
I think all of these attributes that you just stated are quantifiable. Yes, I think that the financial burden you come with is totally quantifiable. I think that the goals and expectations that you have, totally quantifiable. So yes, of course, I'm quantifying them because why wouldn't you? It's a risk assessment, right? So from my perspective, I would be looking at risk assessment. How much is 50% of your life worth? If it's X amount of this amount of money, then that's going to mean X amount of this amount of time for me. So if that's the case, I would still want some sort of offset for that. You're not, now if you were banking on religion, I would say sure, absolutely. In a religious connotation, that's not going to matter as much. But you're not banking on religion. You said that you're just spiritual. So if this is simply transactional, either emotionally or financially transactional, then I would like to know, what does he get for 50% of your debt and life? I'd like to know.
he gets my undying love
Nothing.
and attention and affection.
He gets nothing. Because those things do not matter as much as what he's providing for her. And this is not to down women, because that's not what I do. Yes, I'm pro men, but I'm not anti women. However, I just don't like seeing the way the modern woman is actually operating in the Western civilizations. Like, they're full of entitlement and extra hypergamous. And it's killing our relationships. It really is. So I'm glad Andrew gets a chance to like dissect these things in these conversations, because it is vital. Because if we don't stop this problem now, the dating market